what actually is really the duration of a master's in engineering program? Is it 1 year, 1.5 years, 2 years?
It depends on the university. It's what they state. Sometimes they state that it's 3 semesters, or some universities even have a 2-year program. But it all depends on the university, and secondly, it depends upon yourself. If you want to finish it off in 1 year, you can do that. If you want to do it, if you want to procrastinate and complete it in 2 years, some universities have that option as well. But it totally depends on yourself, and it's all about the living expenses. That's only what matters. That's only the difference.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. It's usually between 1 and 2 years. So for Columbia, it was 30 credits. Each credit is for three. Each course is for 3 credits. So it's basically 10 courses. You can do 4-4-2. You can do 5-5. You can do 4-5-1. Any permutation. So I know a lot of students who already had jobs. So they wrapped it up in 1 year and went back, or they found a job and they went back. So me and Mudit, we decided to hang on for another semester, and we used the 4-4-2 route. Some students have, who have got nothing, not even an internship. They are deferring it, getting into a project or something. So that option is also open. It's usually between 1 and 2 years.
In fact, some students even took 6 courses in one semester.
Right.
But for an international student, the minimum is 12 units, 12 units, 12 credits per semester. So that's the minimum you can take. And I know that since the job market was not good enough, so some people, so our university gave options to students to delay. Some people who had in mind to complete the program in 1 year, they wanted to delay it by another semester. So our university gave that option so that they can look for jobs.
What is the implication on costs of 1 year versus 1.5 years?
The tuition is the same, right? It's just those credits. It depends on how you take it. But the main factor is the living cost, especially living in Manhattan, New York, like we have been. So again, if you have something, an on-campus job with which you can mitigate the living expenses, you can look at that option. Otherwise, it's really expensive to live in Manhattan. So I was lucky enough to secure jobs on campus. I worked for the whole duration of my tenure in the libraries, in the school libraries. So I was able to take down most of my costs, most of my living costs. So this 1.5 year option was feasible for me.
Okay.
Plus, I'd like to add that the internship you get in the summer will also help you cover your costs. If you get a good internship, you can cover the living expenses of the forthcoming semester, or you can also complete those courses within the summer. Some people also do that, and there are options of TAing in summer. Like one of our close friends was not able to get an internship, so he decided to TA with a business school professor, and he earned quite a bit.
What would be a realistic budget for living expenses?
The tuition is obviously the most important part. It covers most of the expenses.
Right.
The living expenses could be covered by an on-campus job, but I think you still have, in case you need a fallback, you have to have a budget to support your living expenses as well. You cannot just rely on the.
So one shouldn't count on those TAs and RAs to defray the costs. If it happens,
Again, it's something based on luck. You can try, and you may get it, you may not get it. So it's always good to have a safety cushion with you.
And it's a small percentage of people who actually get it?
Yeah, it's not a big percentage. Yeah, it's a small percentage.
Okay, but from the TA and RA to think about covering a part of your tuition.
To be specific, our department does not offer many positions, and even if they do offer, they do not support you enough with the financial need. But the other departments like the computer science, almost everybody gets a TA position, so
yeah.
we're kind of jealous with them.
When one is writing about, one's extracurricular activities, what the impression in India is that working for an NGO or raising funds or some philanthropy is quite crucial part of your entire profile. So what do you think about that, Mudit? Is it such a big deal?
I think again, it depends on what kind of program you want to go into. Let's say you want to go into the School of International Affairs. You want to show that you have done stuff which will get you into the UN, United Nations. That kind of stuff will help you if you have done some camps, donation camps, or philanthropic stuff. But let's say if we talk about specific engineering, which is very technical, you have to go through a lot of your technical background, like projects and research work, that kind of stuff. So I think these extracurricular stuff are important, but to a certain extent, depending upon the program. If we talk about the engineering management program, both the technical as well as the management aspect is required. The leadership qualities and the strategic role in, let's say, the clubs you have joined during your undergrad programs are important.
Okay.
Right. Actually, just taking note from where Mudit left. Again, as the program was focused on management, and they wanted to see certain people's skills in you, in your application. So it's good to talk about philanthropy. It's good to be a good human being, and that is something that is valued a lot in the US, giving back to the society. But again, as I said earlier, it's very important to connect the dots. Why are you writing something in this precious space that you got that does not help your application? So, for example, you say that you taught students as part of Teach for India or Teach for America. How does that help you? So the argument would be it improved my man management skills, it developed my leadership skills, my oratorial skills. So if you validate that with what you've written, it makes sense. And again, as I said earlier, philanthropy is a plus.
What's your take on students coming with work experience, without experience, particularly Indian students or international students?
I was in that kind of a situation, when I was applying to universities in the US after my undergraduate program. I did not want to carry out an IT job that time because everybody was going into that field. I wanted to do something which was management oriented. Obviously, I was an MBA aspirant, but what stopped me from applying for MBA programs in the US was my work experience. I had no work experience at all. I had come out fresh out of college. So I chose this program because it has a management perspective as well as the engineering perspective. So I thought that it would, meet my requirements the best.
Okay, but do you think that engineers from India, if they have work experience, they stand a better chance of admission or scholarship or TA?
It depends on the work experience. If you want to apply for MBA, your IT experience might not count as much as if you have a management position. Like if you're an analyst in a company for like 1 or 2 years, or an associate position like a business analyst or something, you have better chances of getting into an MBA school rather than if you have a job at, say, Infosys or IBM.
Let's talk about engineering. Like somebody is aspiring to do a master's in engineering, will that person having a work experience, a technical work experience count? Does that person stand a better chance than somebody without work experience?
But definitely that counts, but I don't think that is a requirement, or it will help you in any way in getting a technical education, unless and until you have done stuff which was required in any of the courses. But I don't think it's a requirement, or even if you need it, you wouldn't need it a lot, as the technical courses are only for education and then you apply them.
The notion in India is that unless you are from IIT or BITS Pilani or NIT or it's very difficult to get into a top school. So
That's very true.
would you agree with that or disagree with that?
It is very true. I mean, we have batchmates, we have peers who are from IITs, NITs. A lot of them are from NITs. Some of them are from BITS Pilani as well. But I don't think if you have the motivation, if you have the courage to apply to the top-notch schools, and if you have the background to support your qualities and talent, you can get anywhere. The universities look at your university, the first point which you're undergrad from, but it's not a major criteria.
Yes, agreeing with him that if you know that you have certain negatives in your application,
Yeah.
you have to ensure that your positives are bright enough to cover that part.